So why did I get the 2023 Honda CRV Sport Hybrid? Let's find out. Alright guys, getting inside of the business end. You're greeted with some power seats. So forward, back, up and down for height, back and forth for your backrest, and you have lumbar support. And we come along the front here, you got the new redesigned Honda steering wheel with orange stitching all throughout, found throughout the cabin to represent that this is the sport model. Although it's hybrid, it can have some little sport styling to it. Please don't mind the seat covers. Just trying to keep the seats preserved because it is cloth. So right off the bat, I just want to say that this was bought first for my wife. I traded her Accord. She had a 2020 Accord Sport 2.0 and great performance. Obviously it's a 2.0, but bad gas mileage, like 22 average miles to the gallon. Another reason why this CRV, it actually sits up nice and high, so it's easy to get in and out of, which is a huge benefit. This also has to be one of the most smoothest ride Honda I've ever felt so far for SUV. Previous CRVs never felt anything like this, and I've driven quite a few. They also sell wireless adapters if you wanted to get one for your vehicle. It's not hard to find. You could get them on Amazon. Basically turning your vehicle into wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I'll show you one of the devices I'm using for that. So this is the device I was talking about. It's Garland Kit, it's called. Basically turns your Apple CarPlay into, your wired Apple CarPlay into wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Small little tiny device. You just plug it in, connect your phone, and then you could get actually more than wireless CarPlay. You can actually get YouTube on here, Netflix, Android. It's a whole Android tablet. So I mean, let me see if I go out of it. Right now it's playing basic YouTube. We'll go home. Here's the home menu. So much better than what this Honda system comes with. So you got TikTok, you got your Waze, you got Angry Birds, Candy Crush. Those are things that I downloaded just, you know, if you're stuck in traffic or something, or you're in drive-through. You got the Play Store, so you can actually connect it and get all your Play Store games that you want on here. It basically is a powerful Android system. It turns your screen into. Other than the great gas mileage, you also have all of the most required features most people want on SUVs. So you got remote start. You can precondition the car before you get inside. Walk away auto lock. You close the door, just walk away. The car locks itself. Smart entry. You just grab the handle. It unlocks, which is super beneficial, especially for the wife. I went ahead and filled up the tank earlier today, and was wet on a full tank. Is averaging around 32 miles to the gallon. It said 425 when I filled it up, but I've been driving it around a little bit. We're mostly using it for highway driving, but it's like 10 miles more better miles to the gallon than the 2.0 Accord I had. Anyways, down here you got your dual climate control, so each person can control their own climate temperature separately, which is great because sometimes I'm cold, she's hot. You got 3 levels of heated seats for both passenger and driver. And also, you get heated mirrors. So you just push that, it'll clear up the fog in the morning with the back window, and also your mirrors so you don't have to go and wipe it with a napkin in the morning. Unfortunately, I moved a little late on this one, so it is the blind spot delete, so I had to get one of those old school blind spot mirrors to stick on both sides. So that's what I did. Not a big deal. We're used to looking through a mirror. We're not, you know, so keen on using those things as much. But It's not a big deal. She didn't care much about it regardless. I am a fan that Honda is starting to include sunroofs on basically their sport models now for most of the vehicles, which is great. Was never found previously. But yeah, you got sunroof, and you also have blind spot. Normally this would come with blind spot, but like I said, there's a shortage right now, so there's no blind spot on this one. Now you got your standard brake hold. There's a new part about brake hold now, so when you actually engage it one time, it's going to be on every single time you start the car. It's going to be on as soon as you put on your seatbelt, so you don't have to keep pushing the button anymore, which is a huge and wonderful update because I hate pushing that button every time. They just needed to do that for the auto engine idle, but there's no more auto engine idle on hybrid, so you don't have to deal with that because it's turning on and off on its own anyways. Here's your drive mode selectors. So right up top you can see the different drive modes you're selecting. You got normal, you got economy, you got snow, and I believe there's sport. Yeah, so sport model uses 75% gas, 25% electric. Normal is 50-50 depending on the way you drive, and economy, it'll utilize more of that battery. You got deceleration selectors along the back of the pedal, so as you're driving and you're slowing down, you push the deceleration selector to slow down the vehicle to regenerate your battery. It's regenerative braking, so it'll recharge your battery faster, and you can release in case the traffic's starting to move again. So if you don't want to brake as hard, you just push that. I think you have about 3 or 4 different levels of braking on this model. Let's go ahead and look inside of the back, see what the spacing is like. So got my Alienware bag over here. Got a trunk tray that was part of the protection package. But there's your spacing. There's quite a bit of space back here. No more spare, and it doesn't drop down like the gas version would. So this is actually the clearance that it's set for. On height in here, you got to fix a flat kit. So just like the Accord, you just connect it to your wheel, and it'll blow up the tires. There is LED lights, no more ugly halogens, which I'm very excited about. The biggest feature, of course, with this CRV is you being able to recline these seats more, so you can actually take a nap now. Your backseat passengers can really enjoy the flight. I said that on purpose. Anyways, well, you could recline airplanes too, but whatever. So check this out. As you bring down the seats, look at that bottom seat. It's starting to drop to give you better clearance. That way you have a more flush return here. So look at how flat it gets. Let's look at it from the back end. So quite a bit of space. This CRV can get actually pretty massive. And there it is with both seats down. So you actually have quite a bit of space. You can literally set up a bed here if you want to go camping at the park or something, which is nice. And your 2 backseat passengers, if there's no middle seat, they got armrest, individual armrests with 2 cup holders for each person to get their cup. But then on the door, you also have another cup holder here and a little space there for your Pop-Tarts. What's really nice, you have 2 air vents on the Sport, and you have 2 USB Type-Cs. Apple is going over to Type-C this year with their newest release, so it's going to support both Android and Apple phones from that point, which makes this more future-proof. An added benefit with the Sport is that you do have the roof rails. You don't have to pay an extra $700 to get that installed, which is nice. That is huge value. All you got to do is add some crossbars if you want to support like a kayak or bike or whatever on the top. I also did forget to mention that this actually has functional struts to hold it up. You don't have to use the little clipper hook, whatever it's called. But yeah, that's a nice little touch in case you're adding windshield washer fluid, because that's basically the bulk of the maintenance that I'm going to do on this thing. I looked at all the other trims, and these rims, the 18-inch gloss black are the best rims out of all of them. The silver one doesn't do justice, doesn't look great. And then you also have the LX model, which is hubcaps. I can't even believe that they're doing hubcaps, but you know, that's Honda. So, but at least the hubcaps don't look so bad from far. You can't tell it hubcap until you get close to it. And as you can see from the mirror, you have side swipe collision avoidance. So if you're in the highway, there's a middle lane empty, and you have somebody parallel on the very far left, and you both are changing lanes, they're gonna see that you're coming into them, because you don't always see these turn signals here. So having that on the mirror actually makes it safer for you. Here's a look at the front end with the lights on. These are your regular headlights, just so you get an idea of the way it looks. I absolutely love the new front end of the CRV. It's super aggressive compared to previous generation. So overall, I can say that this CRV is an excellent purchase. It's great value, great gas mileage, smooth ride, good performance. It's the same 204 horsepower, 247 pound-feet of torque. So you get a great ride. It does get up and go when you need it to. And let's not forget, this also won 2023 KBB's Best Buy Award for this year. So there is no exception to the rule that this is an awesome car.